Assalamualaikum. This is a chapter 3. This is a continuous lecture from part 1, which is still in the title of Developing Effective Innovation Strategies for Technology Ventures. So, we have talked about innovation types and strategies, but how to actually make innovation happen in a structured way? That's where the innovation process comes in. For any technology venture, having a clear step by step process is essential to move from raw ideas to real success. So, now, class, let's be clear about the stages involved in the innovation process. We will go one by one. So, now for the first stage in the innovation process, is idea generation. Let the ideas flow. Everything starts with an idea. This is the fun, creative part of the process where brainstorming happens. Whether it is a new app, a smarter device, or a way to solve an old problem, you want a lot of ideas on the table. How do we get great ideas? Use design thinking to understand user needs. Run hackathon to bring out your team's creative energy. Even crowdsource ideas from your customers or online communities. The more diverse the thinking, the better the innovation. Well, this is how the idea generations looks like within your teams. Stage 2. Idea selection and screening. Time to get real. Not all ideas are created equal. Now it's time to filter and prioritize. Ask yourself, is the idea feasible? Will customers actually want it? Can we scale it? Use tools like SWOT analysis or cost benefit analysis to weigh the options. Things of this stage like auditions. Only the best ideas make it to the next round. This is the SWOT analysis elements. It must have a strength. It has also elements of weakness. You also have to identify the elements of opportunity and the last one's the element of threat. So class, now we go to the stage 3. Stage 3 involve R&D, research and development, which is with turning ideas into real solutions. Once an idea is selected, it's time to bring it to life through research and development, R&D. This is where the real innovation magic happens. Yes, it takes investment, but it's worth it. Your R&D should be laser focused on solving a real customer problem, staying aligned with your strategic goals, and creating a viable product or service that better than what exists. Stage 4, prototyping and testing, which is about trial and feedback. Now, let's build a working version of our idea, a prototype. This lets you test the product, gather feedback, and spot problem early before going into a full-scale production by using a beta testing, house focus groups, and get real customer insight. This is the stage where the product evolve and improve based on the real world feedback, not just assumptions. Now, stage 5, that is the last stage in the innovation process. Stage 5, we call it as a commercialization. Launching time. The final stage is all about going to market. Once your product is ready, now it's time to make sure people know about it. Build a go to market strategy and highlight the product's unique value proposition and plan distributions, marketing, and sales. Remember, even the most innovative product needs the right positionings and branding to succeed. So that's the full innovations journey from idea to impact. Innovation is not a random, it is a disciplined process that helps technology venture deliver real value and stay competitive. In our next session, we will talk about how to build a culture of innovation inside your company and develop strategies that stick. Building a culture of innovations. Innovation is not just about having the right technology or strategies. It's about creating the right environment, a place where people feel safe, inspired, and excited to push boundaries. That's what we call a culture of innovations, and it's the heart of every successful technology venture. So, the component involved in innovation culture, it must have a foster creativity, provide supportive leaderships, learn from failure, collaborate for synergy, and encourage risk taking. Now we go one by one. The first elements to lead into a culture's innovation culture is a foster creativity, which is about let the ideas fly. The first step to building a culture of innovation is to make space for creativity. That means creating an environment where employees feel empowered to think differently and share wild ideas without fear. Companies can set up innovation labs, brainstorming sessions, personal project time like Google's famous 20% time. Remember, when creativity is nurtured, innovation becomes a habit, not a one-time event. Element number two in innovation culture is encourage risk taking, which is about dare to try. Innovation is full of uncertainty and yes, sometimes failure. But without risk, there's no reward. Companies need to remove the fear of failure and instead reward bold thinking. Celebrate what works and learn from what doesn't. When employees feel safe to experiment, they will take the kind of calculated risks that lead to real breakthrough. Element number three is about provide supportive leadership, which is lead the way. Innovation starts from the top. Leaders must champion innovations, not just approve it from a distance. That means allocating resources, setting bold goals, removing barriers, and most importantly, leading by example. When leaders trust, encourage, and support, they inspire their teams to chase big ideas with confidence. Elements number four in innovation culture is collaborate for synergy, which is about together is better. Great ideas don't happen in isolations. Innovation thrive on collaboration and both inside the company and with external partners. Internally is about cross-functional teams like technology, marketing, and design, and often spark new perspective. Externally, open innovation allows businesses to co-create with customers, university, or even competitors. And collaboration actually is about more brains more creativity, and more powerful solutions by combining together the internal and external entity. So this elements number 5 in innovation culture is a learn from failure, which is about fail forward. Here's the truth. Not every innovation attempt will succeed, but every failure is a chance to learn, grow, and try again better. Instead of hiding mistakes, innovative companies embrace them by they analyze what went wrong, extract lessons, and build stronger versions. This mindset called failing forward, which is we keep team resilience and focus on long-term success. When creativity, risk-taking, leaderships, collaborations, and learning come together, you build a living, breathing innovation engines. A strong innovation culture not only drive growth but also attract the best talent, adapts to change, and help your company lead instead of follow. Remember, innovation is everyone's job and it begins with the right environment. So this is how the innovation cycle looks like. It will start like you fail, which is you encounter setback and challenges, and you learn from the failure, which is you gain insight from failure, and you will try to improve the matter, which is you implement changes based on learning, and you try again by applying new strategies to success, and at last you win. You achieve success and growth. Now we go about or we learn about developing an innovation strategy, your innovation game plan. Remember, every great innovation starts with a great plan. A clear innovation strategy helps technology ventures stay focused, grow faster, and beat the competition. Now, let's break it down into 5 easy to understand components. So, innovation strategy involve the first one is vision and objective. Next is a market research, and next, you must have a resource allocations. And next, the fourth one is you must have a portfolio management. And the last one is execution and scaling. Don't worry, we will go one by one about the steps in innovations strategy. So the first one, you must have a visions and objective. You must know where you're going. First, you need a clear visions, what you want to achieve with innovation in the long run. Then set specific objective to guide your teams. Make sure your innovation goals match your overall business goals, like growth, customer satisfaction, or going global. The next step is market research and competitive analysis. You must know the field. Next, it's time to do your homework. You must study the market. What do customers really want? What problems are still unsolved? And what are your competitors doing? And what are they missing? These help you find opportunities where your innovation can shine. The next steps is in innovation strategy is resource allocation, which is mean you fuel the innovation engines. Innovation won't happen without the right resources. Thus, you need to set a budget for research and development, which is R&D, hire the right people, invest in tools and technology, which is give your team what they need to turn ideas into real products. The next stage in innovation strategy is innovation portfolio management. Mix it up. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Manage a mix of projects, which is by having a small improvements like app updates and a big bold ideas like a brand new product. Review and update your portfolio regularly to keep things on track and make sure each project delivers value. So, the last step in innovation strategies is execution and scaling, which is from idea to impact. Once your innovation is ready, it's time to scale it up. That means building the right systems and team, forming partnerships, and getting the product out to more customers. Execution is where all the planning turns into real world success. Measuring innovation success. How do you know it's working? So, you have launched a new product, built a cool apps, or introduced a new process. But how do you know if it's actually working? That's where measuring innovation success comes in. It helps us answer the questions: is our innovation creating real value? Now, let's look at 5 simple ways to measure that. The first one is revenue growth. Are we earning more? The most obvious signs of success: you're making more money. If your new product or service is popular, you will likely see sales increase. That means your innovation is connecting with customers and meeting market needs. Next is market share. Are more people choosing us? Market share tells us how much of the market we have captured compared to our competitors. If your innovation helps you win over more customers, your market shares grows. This shows you are not just keeping up, you're standing out. So the next way to know that either your innovation is success or not is by customer satisfaction and retentions. Do they love it and stay? Innovation should make life better for your customers. If they are happy, they will leave a good reviews, come back again and tell others. High customer satisfaction and repeat business are clear signs you have done something right. And the fourth ways to know that your innovation success or not is about time to market. How fast can we launch? Time to market means how quickly can you turn an idea into a real product. The faster you go, the faster you grab new opportunities and stay ahead of competitors. Speed shows how agile and efficient your innovation process is. The other way is by look into returns on innovation investment. Was it worth it? Return on innovation investment asks a simple questions. For every ringgit or dollar we spend on innovations, how much did we get back? This metric helps you know if your efforts are profitable and if you should invest more in similar projects. So class, by tracking these 5 metrics, we get a clear picture of how well our innovation is doing. Remember these 5 metrics? It is about revenue, it's customer smile, return on investment chart, market share, and clock. So you will know what's working, what needs fixing, where should we focus next. Measuring success helps technology ventures grow smarter, make better decisions, and stay ahead in a fast-moving market. Now, let's learn about the challenges in developing innovation strategies. What's holding us back? Well, there's a fun visual for you to learn, a fishbone diagram that show all the possible roadblocks technology venture might face when trying to develop and implement innovation strategies. Think of each bone as a different type of challenge. Let's break them down. So in innovation challenge, you might have or you might face with a resource constraints, which is you do not have enough fuels in the tank. Innovating takes time, money, and people. But many ventures struggle because they don't have enough money, which is financial limitations, or enough skills worker, which is about human resource shortages. Without these basics, it's hard to move ideas forward. The next challenge is intellectual property issues, which is legal headache. Sometimes the challenge is not the idea, it's protecting it. Companies often deal with complicated patent or IP processes, legal dispute with competitors, and this can slow things down or even stop innovation in its track. The next challenge is about internal resistance. Change is hard. One of the biggest barriers comes from inside the company. Whereas the leaders may resist change, leadership pushback, employees may be afraid of new ways of working, which is about employee reluctance, and some people just don't want things to change, which is resistance to change. And that fear or hesitations can kill great ideas before they even start. The next challenge is about market forces. The world doesn't wait. Even with the great ideas, the outside world brings its own set of challenges, such as new competitors entering the market, changing customer preferences, and uncertainty about where the market is heading. All of this makes it harder to plan long-term innovation strategies. So, class, by understanding the challenges in innovations, will help us plan better, act smarter, and stay prepared. Innovation is not always easy, but knowing when what can go wrong is the first step in making sure things go right. As we wrap up chapter 3, remember this. Innovation is not just about ideas, it's about strategy, culture, and executions. For technology venture, having a structured and well-aligned innovation strategy can be the difference between just surviving and truly leading in a competitive market. Before we end today's sessions, I want to leave you with this powerful quote by Dr. Albert Sanskorgi. Innovation is seeing what everybody has seen and thinking what nobody has thought. This quote reminds us that innovation is not always about inventing something entirely new. Sometimes it is about looking at the same problem everyone else sees and having the courage to approach it differently. So, as the future innovators, I challenge you to think beyond what's obvious. Be curious, be bold, and most importantly, dare to think differently. Thank you. I will see you in the next lecture.